Let's have an honest conversation about what you can expect. Let's explore the dark side of Maffetone training. You've probably seen one of my videos on YouTube spouting about all the amazing benefits of the Maffetone Method way of training. And you probably got really excited and said, I could do this. Well, there's a whole other side, guys. There's a whole other side people don't want to talk about. There's a dark side to MAF training. This method can promise you staying injury-free and improving your times just by running at a low heart rate. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's another side, a darker side with Maffetone training. Question of the day. Share a story with me about a time that you were going through your struggles and how you were able to come back into the sport that you love. Because we all have hard days. And sometimes we just need to hear some positivity in our life. And I love the comments because there's a lot of you who have reached out to me to say that you guys are in a tough time right now. So let's pull together as a community and let's help each other out. Maffetone training lures you in with promises, with getting faster. And sometimes it sucks to hear the truth. It brings you in slowly, step by step. And before you know it, you're in. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. You're into it for a month. You sacrifice all of your gains of VO2 max. All your speed disappears. And you end up feeling like the slowest turtle on earth. You watch all of your gains go by the wayside. And now you feel like you're running or walking, and you feel like you're walking more than you're running. You get depressed, you get frustrated, you want to throw in the towel. You start yelling at me, like, why did I listen to David? Why am I here? Why am I running this flippin' slow? And you're only into it for 1 month. Yeah, it sucks. You feel like you're in a very, very dark hole. You know, it's creepy. You don't know anyone that's really doing this type of training. And you end up here. You end up feeling like this house. Like nobody cares about you. And you feel lost. You feel alone. It's not a good feeling. And you're like, where did I go wrong? How did I end up here? How do I get back to where I was? I want to be able to run fast again. So now I'm going to tell you some truths. I'm also going to tell you some things that a lot of YouTubers are not telling you. I've told you since the beginning, ever since I started this YouTube channel, that I will always be truthful with you. And here it is. Maffetone training allowed me to run so much more than I had ever run in my entire life. I had run over 4,700 kilometers. That's like this many miles. And to be quite honest, I had this invincibility about me. Like, I can do no wrong. I am on fire. Like, I can achieve anything I want to do. Now, people are going to say, Dave, don't run the Maffetone method. What are you doing? You just, this is pseudoscience. It's not real. Well, yeah, in my opinion, it is. I may not back it on science. Phil Maffetone would have to do that. I'm just a real estate agent who loves to run, and I've experienced amazing results. Now, there is a caveat to all of this. I may have run faster, further than I'd ever run in all my life. But guess what, guys? I got injured. And being an injured runner, it's not a good feeling. I want to get back to my castle. I want to get back to where I was before my ultra marathon. I want to get back to my castle. I want to be back there. This is what I was promised, not where I am right now. And so I want to get faster. I want to get stronger. I want to experience all the joy that I had. Let's be real. This method requires quite a bit of time. So if you are time crunched, if you cannot commit to running these longer distances to build the base, this may not be the way for you. It may not be the right method for you. However, if you give it the time it deserves to build the base, to build your foundation, you will reap the benefits. But only if you have the time to put in. If you don't have the time, I wouldn't start. There's no way of sugarcoating this. You're going to lose your top end speed. While you're focusing on building your aerobic base, your anaerobic speed is going to suffer. You will get slower. The only way to combat that is if you intersprinkle some higher intensity runs into your training, meaning 80-20 may be your thing, maybe not full base building. And everybody is going to experience different results. But I've experienced my top end speed, it fell off a cliff. Just the way it is. I mean, I can build it back. That's not a problem. However, I find that my gains that I get in the aerobic base building period, keeping my fingers crossed that they stick around, and I don't have to go back to the beginning. But your anaerobic speed does disappear quicker than your aerobic. You have to accumulate all of those miles, kilometers, time on feet for a period of time, but it also has to match the type of race that you're going to run. Because if you're base building, you're building that foundation and you are getting faster, but if you plan on running an extremely fast race and you haven't done any speed work, that may be a little difficult, as I found out when I ran my half marathon when I just started this method. So keep that in mind. Your form may be impacted when you're running or if you're shuffling along. I know, looking back at how I looked like when I was running, I didn't look so good. I kind of looked like a broken man. However, I don't necessarily think that was because I was running slower. I think it was because I wasn't stretching after a run. I wasn't working on that. And that could probably contribute to, my crappy form. However, the one thing that did get better was my running becoming more of a forefoot striker than a heel striker. Now, what may happen is you may become a heel striker because you are running slower. And when you run slower, it's almost kind of like walking. And when you walk heel to toe. But when I run, it's more of a forward leaning, and you're like, in a way, jumping, and you're landing on your forefoot as opposed to landing on your heel. Just depends on how far your leg strides out. But then I take one step out of my bed and I realize it's not a dream. My knee still hurts. And I hang my head in shame, and I come on camera and I tell you the Maffetone Method training is the best thing ever. But it wasn't running slow that got me injured. It wasn't the Maffetone Method way of training that got me injured. What it was that got me injured was my stupidity, thinking that I was Superman and I didn't have to stretch after a run. I didn't have to foam roll after or before a run. I didn't have to do my dynamic stretching. I didn't have to do any of that. So I was lying to myself. Don't get fooled into thinking that you don't need to do those things, because you're going to end up like me. You're going to get injured and you're going to say, it was the Maffetone Method training. That's why I got injured. Instead of owning up to the real reason why you got injured. And that was because you weren't doing all the things that you know you should do as a runner. And that's warming up, cooling down, it's stretching, it's looking after your body, digging my way out of the hole that I created for myself, feeling like I'm lying to everybody, feeling like a sham, feeling like a charlatan, feeling disillusioned. But the one thing that I do know is history doesn't lie. History is history, and we can learn from it. We can build back better. We can become a better version if we pay attention to what history has to tell us. So if I look at the history of my running and where I came from, and look at the results that I was getting, I can see in the data that I did improve. I did get faster. I did get stronger. I ran a freaking ultra marathon. I just ran 50 miles! Woohoo! I ran 50 miles, 80 kilometers in 11 plus hours. Like what the heck? I get down on myself because I'm not looking at history. I'm looking at my current situation. So let's look at history. Let's learn from my history. Let's learn from my successes. Let's learn from my failures. Let's learn from history to be able to move forward. Life is going to hit hard. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? It can get mean and nasty, right? And it's going to hit flipping hard. And when it does, what are you gonna do? You gonna get knocked down? Are you gonna stay in the dark place? Or are you gonna rise? Are you gonna get up? Are you gonna face your demons in the face? Are you gonna go to the dark place? Are you going to go and pick yourself up. Dust yourself off and get running again. Because really, that's what winning's about. That's what improving is about. That's what being honest with yourself is about. Do you want to run for joy? Do you want to run just for fitness? Do you have goals that you want to achieve? Well, you're not going to get them by sitting there, doing the pity party. You're going to do it by getting out and doing the hard work. Making it happen and showing up for yourself every single day. As hard as it is. Like, that's how you move forward. Right? It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. Let the pain go out your ears, baby. Pain go out your ears. I got this.
I don't even need to motivate this guy. He's got it all himself. We're on to the final stretch.
We are.
So, tell me, big question, why? Why the hell are you doing this?
I was fat. I was sick. They wanted to put me on blood pressure medication. And I said, no, I can change. I can do something about this. I can reverse it. I needed to go somewhere dark to see what my body was capable of doing. And I've cried on this run many times. I've reflected on when my teachers called me stupid, when my principal said I was an idiot. And when I get judged, I go back to that spot of being a kid. And this is what this run means to me, is go to the dark places, confront those things that have happened to you, and turn it into something positive. Life is gonna throw stuff your way. It's gonna hit harder than you've ever been hit before. But what are you gonna do? Are you gonna take it? And then drop down and say, I'm done? No, you're gonna show up. You're gonna show up and you're gonna make it happen. You're gonna move forward. You're gonna reach for the reasons why you started running in the first place. You're gonna find that happy place. You're gonna find your palace. You're gonna find what you've always wanted. And it's all on the other side of fear. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. If you push through it, if you do everything that you possibly can to push through the fear of failure, rejection, injuries, and you reach over on the other side, you've got it. You can look it dead in the eye. Make it happen. Now get out and run.